Hey there. So I'm going to show off my collection. I don't think I've ever shown off my collection of everything that I have. I had to consolidate it into a couple of different areas. This is the Canon lightsaber shelf. I'll get to all the other ones in turn, but these are the ones pretty much not made by me that I really dig. LDM, Randy, Armand Fire, Ace Rocket. These are all the hilts that they either made or part of, with the exception of the Qui-Gon and the Graflex here. This is a FX Sabers Crystal Core Saber chassis. This was a special edition. I don't know if you can read that, but it's a special edition. This is all basically Yoda. The only thing that I contributed was the stand there, which I actually didn't contribute. It's a RK Halon custom stand. Yeah. So these are the Canon hilts. This is the area between my couches. E11. I still have my Avengers trio. I don't think I'll ever get rid of that, but I put them in these nice little stackable cases. Same thing with the Portal hilt. That one's in another one of those cases too. Freeze gun, PKE meter, Sonics. That's my light up ring that I got from Kelvin. That's the leftover parts from the Obi-Wan transition. I just thought it looked really cool being all destroyed in the case there. I don't know if you can actually see the destruction. Destruction! This is my John Wick pistol. This is the version with the sight tracker barrel. I don't know if you can read that, but it says, "Hello, my name is John Wick. You killed my dog. Prepare to die." That's really the only kind of movie display that I have. Everything else is just sort of there. So here's all my guns. I now have mini guns necessitating an entire rack made out of wood, but I dry brushed to make it look like metal. It's situated over the guitar rig. It's got the steampunk face shield just sort of hanging off the end there. Got some Deal 44s. This is the ESB. I think it's the best bin version. ANH. These are just blaster cores, so they're non-firing replicas. The rest of them, they're airsoft, except for this one. This one is just a model. The rest of them are airsoft guns, so they're not real. And on top of that, they're dressed up to look like space guns, like the Westar 35. You can see the little blinking green light, and that's the tracer unit. Both of those have it. Cyberpunk Beretta has it. I really have come to like this one just because of the way it looks, the way it feels. Corbin Dallas has another one. Just very happy with the way this turned out just because it looks really good. It's not accurate, but it just looks really cool. So here's some helmets. Mostly Black Series. The Luke X-Wing, Boba Fett, and Poe Dameron, those are Black Series. And then the Scout Trooper, that's a Rubies. I got it for like $10, and it's surprisingly not a bad helmet for $10. There's another one over on the other side that we shall see in a second. That's the actual EFX, the 501st Trooper, but this actually looks pretty cool the way it is, just sort of sitting on the table behind the couch. Yeah, I like this. Every so often I'll put something here and then I'll take it off just so that I can keep this nice and clean. Moving on, this is the Legend of Zelda stuff that I made a couple of years ago. I just got some crazy wild hair up my ass and I made Pedestal Time, the Ancient Highland Mirror Shield, the Guardian Bow, and the Guardian Spear. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I love looking at it and turning them on and playing with them. I mean, to the extent as a grown-ass man could play with these things. I leave the triangle one on here just because it lights up so much better than the Ancient Arrowhead, which I keep down here just because it's cool to have. Either way, I like that one because it's brighter. I've shown off the mirror effect. I'm starting to go back and trying to peel off some of the Christmas tree lights. I think I have a pretty good way of getting it so that it doesn't look like Christmas tree lights. So for now, it still looks kind of crappy because I've peeled off some of that stuff. This is pretty much in the same condition as when I made it. I haven't really done anything to it, probably just because it turned out so well, and I haven't seen any reason to mess with it at all. That will stay there for probably the rest of time, or until I die, whichever one's longer. 501st Trooper. That's where I keep my steampunk hat too. Seems to work out. He doesn't mind. The steampunk lightsaber chainsaw gunblade. Yeah, that's here too. This is the Ghostbusters stuff. I changed out the siren lights on the proton pack. Where is it? Down here. So the lights are on. But I wanted to be able to see it like at a con, because everything else is just like little 5mm or individual like 20 milliamp LEDs, but these are actually like 3 watts. And I just wanted to be able to see it if I'm walking on a con floor or something like that. Plus, there's little miniature lightsabers sticking out of the top of my proton pack, which is almost as pointless as an antenna on a steampunk hat. For some reason, it's a little bit more fitting for my personality, my character, my style, whatever. The gauntlet or arm thing. This is the second pedestal. This is the Breath of the Wild pedestal. And the EVA foam sword torch. I didn't have it in here for a really long time because I didn't want to smash the nose down. You can see the nose is a little bit smashed and deformed, but I stuck a little wood stick in there to reinforce the tip. So now it won't smash down, and I can leave it in here for whenever I take a really, really long 100-year nap. It'll be waiting for me. I also shortened the handle. I don't know if you remember seeing it in the last one, but it was ridiculously long. It was like 3 hands long, and now it's almost exactly 2. Laser bazooka, you shall not pass. Oh, I don't think I've ever shown this one off, but this is the my wizard staff with like a bird's nest on top of it, and if you stick the crystal in the bird's nest, it lights up. And there's magnets on it, so I can just leave the crystal there. Iceman wears 8 patches on his flight suit. Iceman from Top Gun, 8 patches. For reference, people usually wear 4, as in 1, 2, 3, 4. He wears twice that. I had some patches made a while ago for Tycho and Corrin with the Rebel wings and the X-wings, but they're kind of crappy quality, and I've been thinking about actually trying to find somebody on Etsy to make actual good versions of them. Mostly sci-fi stuff. The Cyberdyne one actually has like fake blood on it, because when I did the John Connor Casual Cosplay Friday, the idea was that like they had salvaged, uniform pieces off of dead Cyberdyne employees. This is where I keep the Hylian shield, the foam one that I had made for the Link cosplay. I just keep it hung on the goddess sword here, which is strategically strapped to my chair, and then this gets slung right there like that. Here's the wall. A lot of the stuff I've already shown off in the past, like the Ram Koda, literally 10 years old, and I still have it. It still has a Crystal Focus version 4, and I think it still has a LED engine green. No one uses LED engine anymore. But I'll just go over the stuff that I haven't shown off before and talk about some of the stuff that I may have changed since I showed it off last. Wooden Master Sword. Thank you, Happy Adam, for planting that seed so many years ago, and I just made it over a weekend because I was like, I want a wooden version now, after I had already made the foam one and the electronic one. Pretty much the same way that I made the foam one, except for the fact that I used wood instead of foam, which was pretty easy. I just filled in some of the gaps because those pieces, when I tried to fine-tune them, they didn't look as good as they could have been. I left it as wood colored instead of actually coloring it in. Sheikah Slate, still the same. I think I showed that off in the Link cosplay video. Ninja, showed that one off on one of my other more custom lightsabers. That one's still the same as I just showed it off. This one has not been shown off before. It's a just a kind of a stunt hilt, but with the NeoPixel. The intent with this one was just to see if I could get some of the detail to pop, which it did, and it looks pretty cool. But it's pretty subtle too, so from about this far away, it just looks like a dirty hilt, but once you get a little bit closer, then it starts to look a little bit more cool. The Steampunk Jetpack. It's mostly still the same. The only thing I did was I wrapped the green guitar cable in the split loom here, and then I painted it gold. It just looked real half-assed before coming out of the top here, so I had it come out the side. It looks a lot more integrated now, even still going into the Nintendo controller. it still looks appropriate, if anything a lot more appropriate instead of that green nylon stuff. The straps are a lot cleaner now, they're thinner, they're not those big huge fat Alice straps. These actually go across the chest now. They're not all bulged up on the, bulged up? That's a good word. I have no idea where that one came from. It's not bunched up in front of your shoulders. So this actually gives you a little bit better range of movement since it goes across your body. Stun baton, this is the one with the neopixel and a prism. Cornhorn version 3. Version 3? Is that version 3? Yes, that was version 3. The rapier, I just made a new knuckle bow on this one just because I didn't like that brass one. Just made this one out of aluminum, cut it out, and it snapped right in real quick. Tron, little thing, I don't remember if I ever gave that one a name. LPA NN14 Steampunk, Dark Saber-ish. It's not actually the Dark Saber. All these Growlflexes, 3 of them are actually replica flashes, and this one is a Growlflex 2.0. This is the TFA version, so we got a New Hope, TFA, Revenge of the Sith, and Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, they actually break in the middle the way they're supposed to. Well, not this one, but the way they're supposed to, as in like you open it up, twist it, and then they should separate. These actually still have the old replica flash insert, and the pins with the connections and stuff like that. The insert has been removed for this one. This was actually made by Mike Murphy, Yoda of FX Sabers. For the Revenge of the Sith version, they have the thinner strips here. They have the chrome tape, the Anakin mirrored clamp card, and copper buttons and stuff. But the only thing that it doesn't have is it doesn't have one of these slides. Yeah, it doesn't have the little slide button right here, and I think that's an old Parks version. I don't know if he's the one that made those, but either way, there's no slide button on it. Zane Carrick, Icon, Tales of the Jedi, Ram Kota, Minas Morgul. Gotta think for a second. I haven't talked about these in a long time. Cornhorn version 4, Focus 3.0. This is one of the Kid Fistos. I think I talked about in the same one as I talked about the Nija. And then this one, I have not talked about this one yet. I wonder if I can get it down one-handed. Don't think so. Nope. Not coming off. Anyway, but this one I called the Cornhorn version 4.5. And hold on a second, I'll pull this one down real quick. So yeah, this one I called the Cornhorn 4.5 just because it was based off of a couple of pictures from like Visual Dictionary or one of the Japanese covers and stuff, and it's basically just an amalgamation of both of those. And it's really short, it's about 9 inches long, it's a NeoPixel. It sounds really, really clear.
Jedi Knight 2, Outcast.
And it's really loud, but the only thing that I did different with this one was that I just kept it nice and clean. The speaker is isolated but held really firm and whatnot. This is probably one of the best sounding ones that I have. The intent with this one was to try to expand on that clear coat acrylic technique, and this is where I kind of discovered that if you just do it on bare aluminum, it looks like acid etching or saltwater etching, and kind of does. I mean, not 100%, but it looks pretty close. This is actually a rubber heat shrink, and then this is just aluminum tape that's been sort of stacked on top of it. But it's still aluminum, so it still has the same effect. The buttons, these are the buttons right here. And I was able to get them on the very edge here. They're those little tactile push buttons from TCSS, and it was a little bit of a chore getting them on there like that, but either way, there's nothing else on the rest of the health. It's just these are the buttons right here. So, okay, I'm gonna put it back on the wall now. Well, that's my collection with patches and all this stuff that I got to put away now, even though it's just sort of thrown about in my dining room here. But I still have it all. I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but I just sort of make stuff because I want it. I don't make for commission or for, other people. If I do, that's because it's for somebody that I know, and I end up just sort of giving it to them. Yeah, that's my collection as of December 2020. Cool. Well, I guess that's it. And we'll see you later.